Hello and welcome to Chatz, a television podcast, the TV book club hosted by two best friends. This is season 18 of Chatz television podcast, Toon Couch Toon Madness. Hey, what's zanier than trying to pick our next Chatz season from a huge pile of 64 different animated series? It's the series themselves that are zanier than that concept. My name is Magellan, and I'm joined by a silly cheese-loving blumpkin. It's Allen.
I do love cheese. That's actually canonical.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh no, they were standing right there when I said that.
Awkward. Bonk.
Oh no, I got bonked.
Yeah, you did.
How you doing, Allen? How's it going?
I'm good. This is one of the later recordings on a weeknight that we've done in a while, and as we were just saying pre-pod, it's the for now end of our like long streak of recording basically every other day. And so I'm both like sad because I'm gonna miss it, and also happy because I'm just happy to be here. This podcast is so fun. It brings me so much joy, and I'm with good friends. So what's better than this? Nothing.
Yeah, we've watched the first episode of like almost 20 different animated series in the past week and a half, and it's been pretty fun, actually.
There's something very... I was thinking during the last show we watched this week, I was like, I never get to go anywhere. There's like something like Groundhog Day-ish to it. I can never go forward until I finally get to go and only go forward. When we have like 3 months of only episode 2s, God, that's going to hit. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, you know, we couldn't do this alone. We needed to summon forth the architect, sort of that's the word that I want to use, the architect of this season. And look, humans have podcasted for thousands of years, so she should be able to handle a few minutes on here. It's Emrys. Hey, Emrys, welcome to the show.
Ipso facto vis-a-vis, ergo.
Ooh.
Good. Yeah, those are some good podcast words.
She's Latin, and she doesn't even Latin.
Well, I was just quoting our favorite character from Matrix Reloaded.
The architect, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Who could forget some of those iconic lines?
Done with you.
What I'm referring to, of course, Emrys, is that you were sort of the mastermind behind, let's do a sequel to Couch Madness and make it about animated shows, and then gathered a bunch of recommendations, suggestions from folks on our Discord, put it in a spreadsheet, and we couldn't have been happier with that coming about, with you doing that, and we're so excited that you are joining us today to talk about just a handful of those shows. So yeah, thank you for all of that.
No, I mean, it just kind of started as a joke recommendation / thought experiment I had in the Discord, and people kind of jumped on it, and I'm like, well, now I feel like I got to keep it organized since I spoke this thing into now what looks like real existence instead of just a silly idea. So I felt like I was responsible for collating all those suggestions and trying to keep them all in one place.
You never stop to ask if we should, and we love you for that. That's great. So we asked you to join us here for the second week of our fourth division here, which is the Shojo and adjacent shows and concepts division. Last week we watched, oh gosh, can I do it off the top of my head? Sailor Moon, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Powerpuff Girls, and what was the fourth one, Alan?
You got it. You're gonna get it.
Oh, the one, yeah, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Oh,
that was the 4 last week.
Very nice.
This week we watched the first episodes of Aim for the Ace, Chihayafuru, Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts, and My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And we're going to talk about those shows. We're going to talk about them in chronological order. But before we do either of you have any kind of initial thoughts you want to share about like what you're bringing into these conversations, or themes that we could be on the lookout for as we discuss these? Anything off the top of your head at the beginning of the podcast?
Emrys, I can go first.
Go ahead.
I think I'm shooting my shot here, Magellan, while we're still in the section 1 of the tournament. I think that the second half of a division is going to contain this series' winner. And by that I mean, in week 1, we tend to do the most like well-regarded shows in the division, like the top seeds, if you will. And those are always like, yep, these are good, these are good, these are good, these are good, done. Then the second week is always like, these are interesting, or like, these are the Zeta Project, which is super interesting. But it's the kind of stuff that feels so meaty and so juicy, so weird, and like off-kilter in creative ways, and how it skews the division's like description. That's like you were saying, like this is technically still the shoujo bracket, but at least 3 of these don't necessarily feel like hyper traditionally shoujo, although they are about young women. So like, you know, genres be damned, these tend to be the second week tends to be the more interesting shows, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, definitely. Emrys, any big picture thoughts before we dive in?
Not anything major at this point. I mean, you had some real bangers in that first half that you announced. So I can't wait to hear that one, because that'll be exciting. Let's kind of go through them. I'm excited.
Great. This last week and this week, I think, have been the toughest weeks for me in thinking about, well, what is going to move forward. So we should really pick these apart and savor them. We'll start with, by far, the most seasoned of these programs, which was Aim for the Ace, 1973's Aim for the Ace. Is this our oldest show so far, Alan? I don't know if we've...
It's older than Gundam, which was 79.
Yeah.
That would have been the only
I
thing
think
old.
this is the oldest one.
Looney Tunes, if it's going to show up, would be older potentially. I'm trying to think.
Of course.
If there was anything else. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, at least.
Literally foundational.
Yeah. So Aim for the Ace, episode 1. The title of the episode is Tennis Kingdom. It was written by, and this is the writer of the original manga, Sumika Yamamoto. Screenplay by Shunichi Yukimuro. Directed by Osamu Dezaki. It aired on October 5th, 1973 on MBS, the Mainichi Broadcasting System. Alan, what happened in Tennis Kingdom?
Oh man, Magellan, it's time for tennis and yearning. And in this episode, first-year student Hiromi Oka joins Nishi High School's prestigious tennis club, where legendary coach Jin Munakata unexpectedly chooses her for special training, despite her lack of experience, earning the resentment of many teammates. Now, I know a lot about old anime because of my like scanline friends primarily, and that extended, and Emrys knows, like that the anime, the Weebs community that we're both a part of. And so I was always aware of Aim for the Ace, and friend of the podcast and known ace, Six Detmar from the Mecha bracket, really likes this show. And I remember them messaging me this week being like, there's more going on here than you think. And I was like, this is the shoujo bracket, though. That doesn't necessarily mean like there's going to be something dark and twisty and remarkable. That probably means something clever. And upon watching it, I was like, I think what they're referring to is that this is like a deeply homosexual program.
Sure is.
And I texted them and they were like, yeah, that's what I meant. I was like, yeah! What a cool thing, especially for 1973. Are you kidding me? This show rocks.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. I had a great time. It's so it's the same director, Osamu Tezuka, as Rose of Versailles, which is a very, very well regarded shoujo.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yes. It's been on my list forever. And looks very similar, and like has the same symbolic storytelling, high emotion, high color variance, high contrast story and animation style. So I felt like I was watching a side story of Rosa Versailles in the best way possible. It's like, oh man, this is like the tennis dimension of Rosa Versailles. This is so cool, and I love this character. That's like the biggest thing with these shoujo series is these main characters are so charming and so relatable and so fun. She rivals Sailor Moon for most relatable protagonist. What about you, Emrys? What'd you think? Have you seen Aim for the Ace before?
I have not. No, I really liked it. It was. I wasn't sure what to expect in a 1973 anime. I heard about it from a lot of people. Nobody seems to say much in detail other than it's good.
It's good.
And slightly hint that there's some queer themes throughout it. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. One thing that I don't know if either of you is familiar with Gunbuster.
Yeah. Oh, I love Gunbuster. Oh, one of my favorites. Yes.
Well, this proved to me once again that Anno invented nothing and that he basically stole the plot of this episode for the first episode of Gunbuster. Like,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh my God, you're right.
Like, down to the characters and the relationships at the school and the coach and everything.
Yeah.
Which is reminded me that Gunbuster's subtitle is Aim for the Top.
Yeah.
So he wasn't even hiding it.
Magellan, Gunbuster's fucking incredible. It's like 6 episodes, and I think you would love it if you like some weird,
yeah, it's
optimistic,
like
but also
22-minute episodes.
Am I understanding that this is like sapphic mechs? Is that like a good way to interpret?
It's more subtextual.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's much more subtextual than this. It's more about the technology behind the mechs and how they travel, and also the adventures that the girls go on. They're deeply charming and lovable characters in it.
The title's a combination of the titles of classic tennis, manga, and anime Aim for the Ace and hit action drama film Top Gun. All right.
Aim for the Top.
Yep.
But we'll talk about
Scratching my chin.
maybe we can toss Gunbuster somewhere. And actually, no, we have to watch all of it.
It's only 6 episodes. It's you gotta just watch that sometime.
We should. I watched it twice and I cried both times. It's so fucking good.
Oh, that last episode. Every
So
time.
good. Every time. Magellan, Aim for the Ace. Thoughts?
I really, really liked this a lot. This felt like the kind of show where you can just hear the pen scribbling of like all of the other show creators who are taking notes from this. Like, oh yeah, that's a
Shit,
great
that's good.
thing.
That's good. Write that down.
Fuck. Oh yeah, she does. She should run into the coach in the tennis racket store and
While
make
she's
a fool of herself.
Yeah. Use somebody else's name and he's gonna think that she's that person and
Yeah.
it's
It's just like every little moment is so it's like so exactly right. And this and Chihayafuru in a different way, I think both those shows really capture like how do we present this situation or this idea that is like so emotionally significant for this teenager. And if you're outside of this experience, it's like, okay, wait, explain to me again. So you're on the tennis team and that's bad? Like, don't you get to go to the tournament? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Like, you're the parent and your kid is like, no, you don't get it. Everyone hates me now. And I think this, I don't know, it just so brilliantly captures like the feeling of the yearning and like, I want this, but no, now everybody hates me, in the way that it's presented without ever making light of that, and also without ever having it be too melodramatic to the point of it being like heavy and unenjoyable. So
Right.
I enjoyed this a lot, I would say.
Yeah, and it's also relatable because the main character's motivation was, I joined the tennis team because I think the star player's hot and I wanted to hang out and try and get to know her.
Just wanted to be in her presence. Madam Butterfly.
She's so cool. She's so interesting. There's something about her. You're like, damn, girl. Damn. You're allowed. You're allowed to have a crush.
Yeah. God, I love the moment where she's like talking to her friend after, and her friend's like, you know, those second years were only there today because the coach wasn't there. And she's like, fuck. What?
Man.
You're telling me they're not going to be with us every week? My life is ruined. That was so charming.
And like that being a major point of contention for her for joining the team is like, well, the hot girl isn't even here. Madam Butterfly. It really is a show of moments. And like for me, the thing that stuck out the most was all these different moments of Hiromi describing herself and giving her like sort of bio and the interpretive way that we see that visually. Like it's almost like watching. This is a very early in the traditional era of anime, like in the anime that we understand as anime now, and expressing emotions through color and splashes of light and flashes of animation. I was like, I feel like I'm watching something not in a different written language, but in a different visual language than I'm used to. There's something so unique about that again, I've heard is the other reason people adore Rose of Versailles. Is like nobody
Rose
just
of Versailles
talks.
Got some great sparkly splash scenes and the like.
And it's in every little moment, right? Like she's crying or she's sad, so there's sparkles in her eye, and they stay there, they linger because she's still sad. Or like certain facial expressions she'll make will come back over and over again. It's like quickly keying you in, like here's how she feels. It really stretches what the animation medium can do. It's like kind of remarkable to watch.
And when there's that scene when the coach is serving, and like each serve is like a painted still, like highly detailed, like watercolor shot of him nailing the ball, and then the girl reacting and not getting to it.
Right.
Or getting nailed in the face.
Yeah, so several of them do. Yeah, the still frames, the use of still frames too. Like we don't need heavy detail animation. It makes me think that is tennis one of the most animatable sports? Because so much of it is in flash moments. You know, it's all hits.
I could see you doing that with baseball too, pretty well.
True. The problem is that baseball, because they tried. There's like not one, like generally regarded amazing baseball anime. There's kind of a lot of mid ones, but the problem with baseball is that there is a lot of kinetic motion. Like there is still a lot of moving. Sure. I think you can depict an entire game of tennis in still frames generally. You
could if you really wanted to, yeah.
We should. What I'm saying is that we should watch Ping Pong the animation. God damn, another banger.
We should, yeah. I agree with what you both are saying here. The way that this show chooses to depict animation or action rather. Yeah. It's like, okay, there's going to be a lot of tennis. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that in this almost like slideshow kind of way. We're going to strategically combine image, sound, like the use of sound in that color. And we're going to use color to like signal when things feel kind of fantastical, how distant the protagonist is from reality, like how sucked in she is to the fantasy of like, oh my god, she looks so cool, and now all the people are just like pink blobs in her world. It manages to create a lot of movement and the feeling of witnessing that movement while being pretty sparse, honestly, with what is actually put on screen. It's almost like you're reading the manga at a certain point, with like how selective it is with the imagery.
Right. It ends up using color because the manga is on color. It's like that unforgettable last scene of the episode, or one of the last scenes where everybody's jealous that she made the team, and the whole team are painted in bright shades of yellow, and you're like, oh my god, yellow jealousy, are you kidding me? How far can we stretch the symbolism? All the way, listener. That's as far as we do everything we can with the color yellow in that scene. It's incredible, all just to indicate jealousy. Ugh, it gives me chills, honestly. I like the characters in this. I'm thinking about like its legs, like where are we gonna go from here? I love the coach. I really love her internal monologue. Like I could watch her internal monologue for so many episodes, but I don't know. I mean, how many episodes is this show? Do we know off the top of our heads?
26, I want to say.
Oh, that's short.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh,
And then there's like sequel series, I think. There's like
there's movies and sequel series and the like.
Yeah.
interesting. 26 would put us at 13 podcasts. That's not bad at all.
I mean, I'm walking away from this episode with things that I'm curious about.
Okay.
For sure. Like I
what?
think it goes. I like. You know, the coach is intriguing because he's kind of this like not my tempo, abusive coach guy, but then you're sort of like, wait a minute, but you're this like accomplished tennis player. What are you doing coaching this high school tennis team exactly? Like, how did you get here? And then I love the dynamic of she recognizes like, okay, this guy's being a jerk. Somebody should stand up to him. Oh, I'm too scared. I'm going to apologize. Oh, wait, no, he hurt my friend. I'm going to jump in when it's my turn to return the volley and like return it. And the way that they do that scene where they don't show you her like hitting or missing the ball really specifically, but they make it clear like she's missing every single one, but she's like hustling for it.
Yeah, she's. Like my theory. I don't know if this is going to be proven later. Is the coach picked her because she's the one who kept fighting out there. Everybody else, he'd tell him to leave at a certain point, and she just kept going and going and going. It seemed like.
Yeah, so that's another dynamic that I'm interested in seeing play out. Is like, oh, she thought that she failed in this moment, but now you have this guy who has like very high standards for tennis players, and he's recognizing something in her that she might not even see in herself yet. And so I'm like, I want to see that. I want to see her step into that and start to love tennis like for herself, as opposed to like, I have a big crush on this amazing tennis player girl. But it could be both. Yeah.
There's avenues.
Yeah.
It's interesting that one of the earliest like anime of this type already gets into the high school drama of like, you've got a crush, you've got sports, you've got like, it's just interred into the genre's DNA. We are going to be talking about high school, and we're going to be talking about sports. I was reading about Dezaki and this series being the first ever Madhouse anime, and Madhouse going on to like still be an incredibly successful studio, making shows like Frieren and Boogie Pop and like a million other ones. Their credit list goes so far. It's so wild to see the first show of a studio and be like, oh, there's like some ideas in here that they kept going for 45 years or whatever. Like I said, those colors. I think there's even a name for the like pastel freeze frames that he does a lot, because that's another big Rosa Versailles thing Dezaki does. It's called let me see if I can find the name of it. I can't find the name of it right now. But yeah, there's just like, it's so it doesn't look like anything else. That's like the point I'm kind of digging into a lot.
No, yeah, it definitely has its own style and like substance of it that's different from all the other ones for sure.
Oh my god, the name is even better than I could have guessed, y'all. It's Postcard Memories.
That is great.
Oh, I've heard that phrase before.
Yeah. Maybe it's used in more than one thing, but yeah, Postcard Memories in the context of anime is the thing he does here. Or like, you know, that famous boxing anime where the guy is like knocked out and then they make Emrys was talking about the like color spread. That's a Postcard Memory. That's a Madhouse special. They still do to this day. Anyways, other things that we liked in this episode. Any scenes or notes to bring up?
There's some dumb tennis boys around the periphery of this, which is just really funny to me. They're watching the coach like, damn, he's interesting, huh? Like they're just kind of there to like do exposition. And I also really enjoyed the scene where her friend Maki is like, oh look, it's Toto, the cool boy who's good at tennis, and our main character is like, huh? Oh yeah. No, he's great. He's really good at tennis, just like Madam Butterfly. Her like trying to make herself feel yearning towards the boy, like subtly slides into the
Back
sapphic
into
yearning
yeah.
again. I thought that was really charming and well done.
I just also like the friend always like, oh, what are we gonna eat? What you want to do? Udon? Want to do burgers? Like all she cares about is getting done with this tennis club and going to get food.
And they have that same shot of them in the restaurant over and over again, where it's like, this is the exposition, the booth of exposition. They go there like 3 times in this episode. It's so good.
I thought that was maybe the lounge at the tennis place because they went there to talk about where to go to eat in the one. scene.
Maybe that's actually. Not
and then the other girls came in to talk about the tournament and sat in the next like booth over.
Yes.
So I thought it was a restaurant at first too, and then I'm like, is this like the lounge? Am I misinterpreting where I am right now?
Entirely possible.
That sounds right. Yeah. For some reason, she's got cool sunglasses that she wears in bed, and when she's hanging with her cat. I don't know why.
Oh, the cat's great too.
The cat is wonderful. Yeah.
Shojo anime love their cool cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anything else?
I think my last thought is just like it's cool the way that this show like very subtle. We're talking about all this beautiful kind of like impressionistic stuff. The way that it handles character design is really cool. Like the most normal characters, like they're not that great at tennis. It's like her friend, just are kind of nondescript.
Yeah.
And then as you get to characters who are more and more idealized by the viewpoint character, they get like more and more exaggerated hairstyles that are not possible to have, and the way that they like move through the scene is more ethereal. And I think that that's just a cool, I don't know, they like handle having both really grounded slice of life characters right next to these like kind of tennis fairies that can fly around,
like anime characters,
magical hair,
yeah, but
like anime characters. Yeah,
but the interesting thing is, unlike like most anime, everybody has like what you would consider like normal hair colors, and they have exaggerated hairstyles, but it's not like pink hair, purple hair, the way that a lot of anime just kind of like is like, yeah, that's normal. No one comments on the hair. They all have like black hair, brown hair, blonde. The Madame Butterfly is the only one with blonde hair. Everybody else is some more darker shade.
Yeah,
it's just interesting to see like that as opposed to what you're used to in most anime, even from like the late 70s and early 80s going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Alan, anything else about these?
I want to talk about this show more. Oh, her reading the tennis magazine upside down? Iconic. Hilarious. Especially then she cuts away and cuts back and she's reading it right side up. I'm like, oh, she caught herself. That's funny. That's just good animation humor. What's better than this?
Well, she even says like, "Oh fuck, I had it upside down."
Oh, whoops. The show exists at the intersection of what we think of as anime and Looney Tunes. Like, how do we? These are the same medium, but how do we get here? And this is like right at that halfway point. Super interesting. But let's move on, shall we?
Let's do it. So the second show, we're jumping way forward in time now. The second show that we watched for this week was, I think the next one chronologically is My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, episode 1 of season 1, entitled Friendship is Magic Part 1. It was written by the creator of the show, right? Showrunner Lauren Faust. Storyboarded by Jason Thiessen and James Wooten. Directed by Jason Thiessen. It aired on October 10th, 2010 on The Hub. What was that?
It was a channel where they
put
animation
channel
to die. Yeah, it was like mostly kid shows.
It was associated with one other channel. I'm trying to remember what channel it was, like a sub channel of.
Discovery. It's Discovery. It was like under Discovery.
That's right.
Discovery.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Discovery Kids, basically. It replaced Discovery Kids, in fact.
Got it. Okay. Alan, what happened in Friendship is Magic Part 1?
In this episode, any pony can tell you that bookish unicorn Twilight Sparkle is sent to Ponyville by Princess Celestia to learn about friendship, where she meets 5 very different ponies and discovers that the banished Nightmare Moon is about to return. Ooh. So non-patrons won't know this, obviously, but we were Emrys put My Little Pony Equestria Girls in the Patreon Cup earlier this year and had friend of the podcast Kire on to talk about those films with us, the first 2 at least. And so we have now some My Little Pony experience under our belts, and that is to say that is a spin-off of this. So it's kind of cool going from the spin-off to the original, and actually seeing them as ponies and not as teenage girls. I liked this. I could definitely tell it was a bit more of a kid show and a bit more like simple, but that makes plenty of sense. It's like the first episode, they don't have the backbone of everything, of years of history yet, but like for its time and for its genre, I really appreciate how much this pilot respects the viewer's time and respects your intelligence, especially for young kids, especially for young girls. Because my understanding was that when Lauren Faust was handed this after having a good reputation on Powerpuff Girls, Fosters, all that stuff, Hasbro's like, hey, reboot My Little Pony. And she's like, okay, I want to make a show that I would watch. And that means we're going to have mythology. We're going to have prophecies. We're going to have multiple protagonists. We're going to have artifacts. And we're not going to explain everything. We're just going to walk. We're going to move forward, moving, jokes, forward momentum. It's a very forward momentum pilot, and I respect it a lot for that. I did not laugh as much as I laughed at Equestria Girls. I didn't find it as eye-opening, because now it's like I get it, I understand this language, but I thought it was quite good at what it's trying to do. What about you, Emrys?
Well, I mean, it's obviously there's starting off at this point, and so a lot of the time was spent. You have to at this like Equestria Girls has the advantage of it. Most of the people watching it know the characters, and they can build on that pretty quickly. But this, they have to introduce all the characters, Twilight Sparkle, all the other, main 6, have to also introduce the threat and kind of that whole history and mythology to it, and try and fit all that in. And for the first half of start, I think they did a pretty good job of fitting a lot into it, getting a good feel for each of the characters, getting a little time with them. Not enough to really get deep into them, but enough to get a good start with all of them. It's not my favorite episode of the series, but you got to start somewhere, and I think they do a great job starting things off and introducing things.
Yeah, they're setting up a lot, and it's just doing it so expressively. Like, can you believe the show's animated in Flash? This is like the best.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Flash animated thing I've ever seen in my life. It's nuts that they made this look this good.
Wow.
What about you, Magellan?
Yeah, I'm glad, Alan, like you were saying, that we watched Equestria Girls just to see what does it look like when these characters they can all kind of like enter the show at the same time and talk to each other, and we can do something that's like kind of branching off of the main thing. But Emrys, like you're talking about, I thought this was a really, really well done pilot, with the goal in mind being like, okay, we have these 6 ponies, and they're all going to have their own vibe, their own deal. And we want you, by the end of this episode, if you understand nothing else, we want you to be able to like name the 6, identify them, and tell me what their deal is. This episode does that superbly, which I think is all you really need out of a part 1 of a My Little Pony pilot, is like, who are the 6? I want to be able to say which one's my favorite by the minute 20. And this episode is great for that, I think.
You have an adjective to describe each pony. Like 6 is a lot of characters to juggle in theory, but like when each of them is mostly just their adjective, Applejack is like dependable, Rainbow Dash is cocky, Fluttershy is scared, Pinkie Pie is chaos, Rarity is dramatic, Twilight is highly logical. Like that's all you need, and then you kind of sail through that's let's smash our My Little Pony characters together and make them go on funny little adventures. All they have to do is the thing that they do.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming off of a few weeks ago watching a bunch of DC Animated Universe pilots and associated superhero show pilots. And this episode did a much better job of introducing like a team of superheroes than a lot of those shows did.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's the Justice League Part 1 and we only trust you to hang out with Superman and Batman right now. We're not going to introduce anybody else because we got to do this whole thing about Mars and da-da-da-da. And this episode's like, man, once upon a time there was a bad guy who's going to show up at the end of the episode. All right, now that that's settled, let's go meet everybody. And you're like, thank you. This is the grounding I need. You tell me what's going on, why it matters. You give me a theme, friendship. It's good. It's magic. And now, boom, 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 boom. I've met everybody, and that's more than a lot of the shows we've watched so far can say.
We're beginning with a fantasy adventure, also. You know, the show's heavily inspired by Wizard of Oz, especially this episode. Not the only show we discussed this week that is inspired by Wizard of Oz. Girl brings many fun characters with her to go on adventure and learn about herself. That being said, did we like Twilight immediately, or did another member of the? I looked this up, and they're called the Main Six.
Yeah.
MANE6. Do we have another favorite in that Main Six from this episode at least? I personally felt Twilight. I liked her way more in this than I even liked her in Equestria Girls. I think it shows so earnest, not to a fault. It's just like deeply, deeply earnest, and a character like her, I always like gravitate towards. So I ended up liking Twilight much more here.
Emrys, do you have a favorite out of the gate, or like when you first were watching the show, did you have an early favorite of the six?
If I'm just thinking about this episode, I think it's probably Rarity, actually.
Yeah.
She's really fun, and you think they're going to do some stereotypical things with her, but they don't go down the route that you could see them another show easily going down with her. And I really appreciate her. Of course, my favorite voice in the episode is the voice of Twilight Sparkle singing the theme song, because that is Rebecca Soy-Shea, who plays Sunset Shimmer.
Your favorite pony of all the extended universe.
Yep.
Oh.
So,
early.
She's been there doing background characters and doing all the songs for Twilight from the first episode.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Margie?
I mean, I think Twilight Sparkle is so charming as a protagonist here. I love everybody whispering like she's more interested in books than friends, and then her whole plot is like, yeah, I am. Dear Princess Celestia, I read 5 books today, and I know all this stuff. And Princess Celestia says, "Dear Twilight Sparkle, touch grass. Go." And I love that. And she's like, "What? Whatever. Okay, I gotta go around and talk to a bunch of people." Every interaction, she's like, "Cool. Are we done talking?
Can I get out of here now, please?"
I'd like to leave. Yeah. Okay. They're throwing her a surprise party at her house, and she's trying to sleep.
Relatable. There it is.
Yeah.
I love all of it. I also really liked Fluttershy in this one. She's
fun.
Shy.
Until she sees Spike.
Yep. Until she has a special interest that she can talk about.
Thank you. Thank you, Magellan.
She's like, "Oh, baby dragons. I know about this."
That was so two autistic people falling in love. I was like, "Oh my god!" The like, I want to hear your special interest and I want to talk. 2-person meeting. I was like, oh.
So sweet.
He's like, that's everything I've done my entire life up until today. Do you want me to talk about today? And she's like, yeah.
I loved it.
So cute. Yeah. I also like the little the brunch scene or whatever where she's with all the like southern sounding ponies and they're like do you want to stay? And she's like, I can't, I have to go. I thought that was gonna have more consequence, but it was kind of just like, nah, I'll stay, and that's fine. You can stay and have some food. Although she did have a tummy ache afterwards, I believe.
That was Applejack's extended family, right?
That's right. Yeah, the Apple Clan.
The Apple Clan.
I couldn't decide if I was charmed or annoyed by the fact that it was a mix of apple dishes and apple types. I think that's okay.
I think it was also that they could say, and this is Granny Smith.
Yeah.
I laughed.
But then Granny Smith's image on her haunch was a pie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. No, they don't. It's
Do they,
not canonical.
Well,
do they make that
well,
work?
That is actually a thing that comes up in the show is what their marks are about.
Okay, that's
not
exactly what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
I'm not going to say anything more, but it is important, and it's not just based on their name.
Fabulous. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
My last discussion prompt for the episode, I guess, is like, can we tell from this episode? Can you see the seeds of what made this appeal to adults, and what do you think it was? Because I've brought up like it not holding your hand, and like the characters having flaws and that stuff, and the animation style. Like, is there anything else that you were like, yeah, I could see like adults getting into this? This was like written with kids who are intelligent and adults in mind.
I mean, you hit some of the big ones there. I mean, they keep they keep on message too, of the friendship is magic. That kind of is an undercurrent throughout the whole series, and they use that in interesting ways. Trying to think. It's they took a bunch of characters that were interesting, distinct, easy to get into, get to know. Don't hold your hand about the storytelling, the background. They keep a solid but not overly complicated story. So I can see why that would appeal to both kids and adults.
I think there's definitely that piece of it. There's just something appealing about like a story about an ensemble who I was gonna say in the real world, but they are like talking horses. But you know what I mean. Like these six friends. They wouldn't just kind of like organically be friends probably in a real social context. People tend to I think clump more with people with like interests or like personalities. So there's something delightful about like there is a value and a reward to like pushing myself out of my comfort zone, meeting people who are not like me, and investing in relationships with them. And I think something else we talked about Equestria Girls was like the ponies representing different conceptions of girlhood, and I think that's like kind of a theme of this week or this division is like girlhood can be a pretty capacious thing. Like you can find yourself within it in all sorts of different ways. And I think this first episode really tries to communicate like okay, look, Twilight Sparkle is kind of like protagonist in the sense that she knows stuff. She knows lore and cares about knowing stuff and communicating to the powers that be. But we're gonna give everybody screen time so that you can kind of find yourself in the main six somewhere. And I have to imagine that resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah, and even just for me, the theme that starts here and seems like it's something that will continue throughout the show of Twilight realizing, oh, like friendship isn't something I do instead of reading books. It's like something I can do in addition to being my own person. Like I can have friends and they don't have to all be like me. We can be weird and different, and that can exist alongside my hobbies, which I think like for young people especially is like such an important lesson. Is you're not picking between two parts of your life. You can do both.
it's a false dichotomy that's presented when the other ponies are making fun of her, like, oh, she cares more about books and friends. It's like, well, my real friends would care about the fact that I care about books.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shall we take it to a break?
Sure.
I mean, Pinkie Pie puts hot sauce on her cupcakes.
She sure does.
I can like see the Tumblr post of somebody in like 2013 putting hot sauce on cupcakes. I can see it. If I can't literally pull it up, I can see it in my mind's eye. At least two of these shows have an extremely intense following on Tumblr. Did you know that?
Try to guess which two?
Yeah.
Let's take it to that break. That sounds good.
Brilliant.
All right.
When we come back, the three of us will reconvene to discuss Chihayafuru and Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. Back after this.
Yeah. I was surprised. I forgot. Did no one recommend Marissa the first time?
Hello, and welcome back to Toon Couch Toon Madness, the podcast where we
Yeah.
competitively memorize each other's hobbies, likes, dislikes, and obscure 1,000-plus-year-old poetry. I'm still Allen, that's still Magellan. And
Maybe I
Emrys.
missed it
Hello,
when I
everyone.
was collating everything.
Hello.
We're still here. We're partying.
Magellan,
Magellan, our show this week.
like you broke the
is
DCA
in fact
up
the
into a bunch of
aforementioned
shows instead of just one
Chihayafuru.
entry and everything.
Notably, YouTuber Pro CD and aka Sung-Won Cho's favorite anime of all time, which is probably
By the way, I looked it up.
why
and
Justin
Infamy
recommended it
Ace
to you,
has
and that's why you had it watched on
two
your Crunchyroll account.
26-episode animes, a couple like
this
13,
series 12, and 10 starts with episode 1, which is called Now the Flower Blooms, named after a part of one of the poems. It was written by Reiko Yoshida, storyboarded by Morio Osaka, and directed by Morio Osaka. It aired October 5th, 2011 on NTV. And Magellan, can you please tell me what happened in the first episode of Chihayafuru?
In this episode, elementary school student Chihaya Ayase befriends transfer student Arata Wataya, whose passion for competitive karate inspires her to discover a dream of her own, while forming an unlikely friendship with Arata and her classmate Taichi Mashima. What do we think? What do we think of this Chihayafuru?
Emrys, did you have history with this?
Yeah,
I did not.
Oh, who put this on here? Did Justin do this?
Well,
Probably.
Justin said it to us in a Discord DM. And
Okay.
we were like, yeah. And Alan, as you alluded to, I have watched this before, and I still don't know the context. I could have sworn I watched it for a podcast. Like that, because whenever I watched it, I was very attentive, and in a way where it's like, I watched this for a purpose. Did I watch it for a podcast? Did I watch it with Justin, or did Justin tell me to watch it and I watched it? Because I don't usually watch the things that people tell me to watch. So it's like, it couldn't have just been me taking a friend's recommendation, but maybe it was. All I know is that when I first watched it, it deeply affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And it did it again. I mean, this episode is like, oh. But I don't know. Alan, what'd you think of it?
I also fell in love. Again, I knew going in I was going to probably like this. This is actually Studio Madhouse. So the Aim for the Ace people kept going. And that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. It's interesting reading about the differences between the manga and the anime and how they started, because the manga entirely starts on focusing on Chihaya's childhood. The anime sets us in the high school before going back. I love that. I love Chihaya as a character. I say this about every single shoujo character. Very lovable, very warm, like pensive character who thinks a lot about the world and why things are the way they are. This is like my favorite anime protagonist type. And this is the thing everybody says about this show, but they made Karuta seem so goddamn interesting. I was like, I need to play this. This is a obscure game that nobody plays, that the guy literally says in the episode, he's like, if you get good at this, you're probably just the best player in the world. And she's like, whoa. And I was reading about it and I was like, I want to learn how to play Karuta. Are you freaking kidding me? Crazy. So, I think there's like American and English language variants of it that you could do. We can talk about that. No, loved this pilot and was deeply, deeply moved by it. Yes. What about you, Emrys?
I bounced off this one real hard.
Okay. Tell me why.
Just, I don't know. It felt like it was like engineered in a lab.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is happening. Oh, now this is happening. Oh, this is okay. It just like, I don't know why it felt like formulaic in a certain way that just, I saw the seams and it didn't, instead of appealing to me, it's just kind of like, I see what you're doing and, bounced off it.
That's so valid. I think I totally get that. And I felt that for the first like third of it. And I fell into it in the scene that everybody, from what I'm reading, fell into it, which is when he tells her, I gotta get some names down, man. I gotta get some freaking names.
Harada,
she's great.
Or Tachi.
The one who Harada, yeah. When he's like, when Harada's like, oh, you don't take your sister's dream. You need to have your own dream. It's important to dream your own thing. And I was like,
yep.
It's working. And I could tell, like you said, Emrys, I could tell they were pulling on me, but it worked. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, that was me with like Your Line April, where I was like, this is sad and it's pulling on my heartstrings too hard and you got to chill the fuck out. But for some people, that's one of the saddest, most beautiful anime of all time.
All right, cool.
Sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's totally valid. I also love card games. I know you do too, though. So
yeah, so
I like learning that. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I think what works for me about this is like seeing the seams of it is kind of part of what I like, because the like central passion is so esoteric and mundane that the characters are almost like our main character, Chihaya. She's having this like cognitive dissonance experience where she's like, wait a minute, I was supposed to come to high school and have like a sports anime where everybody likes the thing that I like, and I was supposed to have like a love triangle with like two guys who represent, like, there's cool guy and there's nerdy guy, and this was how it's supposed to go, but that's not happening to me. Why is my interest too niche? Do I not know how to form relationships with people? So yeah, I think for me anyway, like seeing the gears turning and seeing the characters like within the story being like, wait, what is this story that I'm in right now, was kind of part of what I liked about it. But I can understand how that might be like, I don't know, it's a little formulaic.
And if you don't like these characters, you don't like them. Like Arata is a take it or leave it character. Even Taichi is a take it or leave it character. You either, like, I see Taichi and I go, oh, this is a bully that has something going on. This is a person who, like, she sees right through him. That wonderful scene where she's looking at him and like seeing him talk like he did as a child. And you're like, there's a depth to this character, but we don't see it yet. And I could again see someone being like, I know what this guy's deal is. I don't really care. But like that just kind of worked for me. So it's like, it's either the characters hook you, the interest in the game hook you, or neither, or both. But I really like Chihaya as a character. I think she's fun. I think Arata's dream line is like the emotional heart of this whole freaking episode. I think it's also worth noting, and this is something that may or may not appeal to you as someone who watches a lot of anime, Emrys, like gorgeously directed. Direction and music, really patient, and like the episode allows people to be quiet and like allow there to be silence, which I always find appealing and feels more realistic. So I don't know. That's something that like was almost cozy to me, like settling in for the evening. That's how I watched it before the next show, because I knew it would be chill like this. But it's cozy. It's comfy to watch.
Mm-hmm. I just had a thought and then I lost it. Yeah, I love the characterization of Chihaya from the very beginning of the episode. Her wearing the track pants under the skirt while she's like
Love
pinning
it.
up the flyer, and the teacher's like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, you said I couldn't do this as a skirt, so I put track pants on." Teacher's like, "Take the skirt off." No, don't take it off here. It's like this, the ridiculousness of clothing and gender
Gender.
clothing, and yeah, that's a fun little characterful moment at the top there.
Do you guys see this show as more of a sports anime, a romance show, or coming of age? I mean, I guess it's all three, but which one do you feel like it in this first episode it succeeds at the most?
Yeah, like what's the most promising
Yeah.
of those?
I would say it's probably romance, and for me, that's a problem because when it's a cishet romance, that'll work pretty hard to get me into the romance, and
It didn't work for you.
didn't pull that off.
Yeah, I agree. I have like very little interest in Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
And like if the thing of this is like there's two boys and they represent different versions of Karuta, and which boy version do I like more, I agree. I'm like, no thanks, I'm all set.
Mm-hmm.
I think to answer your question, Alan, the piece of it that resonated the most with me was this like coming of age thing, but tinged with like you already know, because there's this flashback aspect. We start in a kind of disillusioned present where she's like, wait a minute, I was supposed to be coming of age and this was supposed to be my thing. I've like found my identity in it, and now that's like unraveling. So you introduce that at the same time, or like just before you then go back in time to when she's building that identity for herself, and is like, whoa, this thing is so cool and I'm forming relationships through it. So I was really engaged by that version of a coming of age story where it's like, we're going to show you kind of two stages where you come of age, but then you're like, fuck, wait, I'm not of age. I have to keep coming of age. And you're going to kind of see both of those side by side. So
puberty is a process,
cool structural thing. And, not to get too whatever, but I think there's something in like, you're read the first part of the poem in this game and you're looking at the cards that just have the second part of the poem, and like the present is kind of like the second part of the poem, and the past is like the reading of the first part or something, and it's like, can we match these up?
Well,
or are they not going to get matched up?
Yeah, what do I recognize from the first half? Because isn't Karuta mostly about like remembering, hearing syllables and recognizing which poem
right
indicates which syllable? My pinky, for the video listener, by the way, is a mnemonic device I have where if I have a point, I keep a pinky up to remember it. That's the difference between the manga and the anime that I wanted to talk about. Because like I said, the manga starts in childhood and stays in childhood until she grows up. So it's kind of like, oh, we're going to see her in that like coming of age of like, oh, well, I love this. Like all my friends want to hang out with me and we're having fun playing this game together. It makes me happy. And then bring on the level of the layer of just jaded, sad. People don't want to do this anymore. I still want to do this. And I don't think it's stupid. Like, yeah, we have a lot of hobbies that I'm sure all of us have experienced where somebody told you like, oh yeah, we don't do that anymore. And you're like, what do you mean? We used to do that all the time. What? We're suddenly not like playing basketball in the yard anymore or whatever. We have bigger things to worry about. You have jobs, and that works to me better in the manga where it's linear. But I like what you're saying, Magellan, that it's almost about memory, like Karuta is, where in the anime they're like, you saw a little bit of that, you come back to the present. You saw a little bit, you come back to the present. Like we allow it to flow a little bit better. very interesting structural change that I think changes the emotional heft of this pilot.
Yeah. There's also something there's something about like our arbitrary rules and I think something that's really engaging about Chihaya as a protagonist is she's like always kind of behind the curve a little bit of whatever social rules that everybody else around her has agreed upon. Like, oh, we all agreed that it was cool to make fun of the new kid, and we've been taking notes on like his accent. And she's like, what the hell? Like, why? That sucks. So I think by starting in the present, we're making that experience of hers the thing that the show is about, instead of like, I want to have a dream. It's like kind of about, I want to have a dream. And it's kind of about like, boy, isn't it cool that my sister's so feminine? Anyway, don't look at me and my psyche and my conception of myself. It's kind of about that, but it's really about this experience of like, when did everybody else decide things were a different way? Like what you're saying, Alan.
Yeah.
And why is it like this? And why can't I figure out how to navigate that and find, my way of being and what makes me happy? And I think that's, it's a special sort of thing.
Another like remarkably similar story to this that's currently having its first anime adaptation. Also a Justin recommend, although I was reading it way before he recommended it, is Akane Banashi, which is a now airing anime. Usually it was a manga, and it still is, about a young girl who's into rakugo, which is like a form of Japanese comedy in storytelling. And like the drama and the like, if you want like young girl coming of age caring about an obscure hobby in Japanese culture, it's like a carbon copy. But I like Akane Banashi a lot. I think it's a lot funnier. It leans into the comedy of rakugo a lot more, and it's about storytelling as a result. But Emrys, like, maybe that's worth checking out if you're like, the concept seems interesting but this execution is not working for you. Just thinking about that too. Some other stuff I loved from this episode. I love the music. Music comes up for me a lot. I feel like I don't talk about it enough on the podcast, but like, I can really be sold on a show with some good music. And that's going to come up in the next series as well, where I'm like, this could be totally fine and have some fire music, and I'm like, suddenly I'm going to watch all of this. Another thing in anime that always gets me, as somebody who still considers A Place Beyond the Universe, Place Further Than the Universe, one of my favorite shows of all time. That's the Girls Go to Antarctica anime. Is people being like, they told me I couldn't do it, and so I did it better than everyone else. Is like, I can always watch that. That's what got me into My Hero Academia when I, like, 10 years ago. And the next show got fucking stupid. So I will always fall for everyone being like, you can't do this, stop doing this. And they're like, but what if I did? It's just, it's catnip for me. It's narrative catnip for me every single time. Other quick note that I had, when Arta's mom comes in and sees the two of them playing the game, she says my favorite line of any of these episodes, which is, Arta's girlfriend, would you like some yams? I would say this. I was like, I've never resonated so much with a mom. Do you want yams? Yeah. I know you're not dating, but I'm going to call you that.
I can't scare this person off. I need to keep this kid in my house. What's going to do that? Yams.
Please
go with the
yams. Don't leave. Should we learn to play Karta?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, the thing that I was kind of saying earlier about part of like, everybody arbitrarily decided on something without me. Part of what's charming to me about Karta is like, the only thing that makes it a game is deciding that it's a game. Like, mechanically, I don't think it's the most interesting game.
Not really.
Like, no, it's strategy. Memory.
Yeah.
It's just like, can you memorize stuff? And this episode almost shows like how trivially not game like it is, because Atara is just, he's so much better at it because he's been memorizing the stuff for so long. But I don't know. I find there's something that I find really charming about that you can just really decide that something's fun for you and be like, no, this rocks. I love this. Like, I memorized 100 cards and I can pick them quick. And that is my passion in life. So yeah, let's do it. Let's learn how to play.
It's basically solved. Like, if you can, because what I was reading about was if you know all the stories, then all you're waiting for is the first syllable. And many of them have the same syllable. So then you wait for the second syllable, and then you just are faster than the other person. That's it. But there's like, if you watch it played, there's a big intensity to people standing up to like throw their answer down, like slamming tile. There's like an athleticism to that I really like. And you see a little bit of that in this episode. I was like, you know what? Okay, this is my last point. I know I'm talking a lot, but because this show like really burrowed its way into my brain. Also, this is a podcast. We're supposed to be talking. Watching Chihaya get into this and everyone be like, that's for kids. Why do you care so much about it? And then she gets into it and the people in the community are like, this is the thing I like. This is exactly how it felt getting into the Pokemon trading card game.
Oh yeah. I bet, did you feel the moment where she's watching him destroy her and she's like, okay, I just got to pick up one card. Like,
yeah.
Did that kind of resonate?
Yeah. Or like
an early experience of that.
Yeah. Like I infamously won my first ever in real life game of Pokemon. And then it's all downhill from there. So, I won by like a minor fluke. But yes, the feeling of like, okay, there's the bar. I've now set the bar. I just got to be better than that. Or I just got to do a little bit. I've seen it. I've been destroyed in person. Now I can figure it out. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to perfect it. And then I'm going to go into this community where I'm like, I don't think I've never been invited to somebody's wedding from Pokemon, but like, you know, think about like podcasting or Discord, like a hyper niche hobby that you go so deep in that it becomes your world. I think that's like so beautiful because like I've been to the weddings where I've like stayed over at people's houses, people who I've met through this podcast, through the Scanline community. And like, that's just really beautiful to me. I'm sorry to repeat myself. It's just like, to care so much about something so small is very human and very beautiful. Is the point that I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Yeah. And for that, I mean, I think to me, this is my last thought. The sweetest moment is when at the end of the game, he's like, oh yeah, your name's nice. It's the first word on this card. Pretty cool. See you later. And it's like such a sweet little in this game that is like, it's all about just, a couple syllables. It's boiled down to like the most arbitrary, how quickly can you memorize? There's still this opportunity for, oh, well, this word means something and this is your name. That's cool. Like, we're going to kind of connect over that and muse on that and have this human experience about it. Anyway, off to the rest of our lives. Like, I really was charmed by that.
Yeah, same. Big time. Yeah. Emrys, any additional thoughts? I know you said you weren't a fan, but anything else strike your fancy?
I mean, trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I kind of went over how I bounced off it and that. Yeah, I suppose if Arata, who is missing in the present day timeline, showed up on HRT, it might change my opinion on the show.
I was picking up that vibe a little bit also. So fingers crossed.
Making it a much more
you think Arata's a little eggy?
Yeah.
Got some vibes there.
Yep. Same. What
are you talking about? Character who hyperfixates on a hobby so much that they don't have to think about their own body or who they are in the world and how they now hold on. I don't think I have the energy to think about that right now. Let's talk about girls. shows for women.
I gotta take a call real quick. I'm just gonna step aside. You guys
sure. Okay, we'll keep it rocking. John, you want me to introduce the app and then we can roll them a second, or should we take a break?
let's do the intro part, and
Yeah.
then we can see if Emrys is back. Or
Okay.
not.
Okay, groovy. So where did my notes go? I got so many tabs. So many. There they are. Firefox lets you move an arrow left and right. That's wacky. The last show that we watched this week is Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. The first episode of this series is called Burrow Girl. It was written by series creator Radford Seacrest and Bill Wolkoff. It was storyboarded by Young Ki-yoon and Woo-jun Lee. It was directed by David Han, and it aired January 14th, 2020 on Netflix. R.I.P. It not be on Netflix anymore. Magellan, what happened in the first episode of Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts?
In this episode, after her underground home is... Oh, wait. Do we know that?
Oh, whoops.
Do we know this part?
I don't think we do. Whoops. There you go.
There we go. After leaving her underground home, sheltered teenager Kipo Oak ventures to the surface for the first time, where she encounters a dangerous but wondrous world and begins searching for her missing father.
Okay. So let's slow roll it. How about this? Did you know about Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts before now?
I did not. I had not heard of it before. Yeah, I missed it when it was coming out on Netflix, I guess.
It almost entirely came out in 2020, all 3 seasons, which is like there were
Really?
other things going.
Interesting.
Yeah, they like shotgunned the show. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I missed this one. What about you?
A good friend of mine watches a lot of like these actually like young adult animated cartoons from the 2010s, and him and his wife watched this show in its entirety like I think right after it came out, and he loved it, and he was like, you and I need to watch this show, Alan. So I've actually watched this pilot with him before, like a year or two ago, and yeah, I just like, and I was like, oh, I'll save this for the two of us next time we're free. But like people get married, lives get busy. I was like, I'm probably never going to watch this show. And then it's not on Netflix anymore. So I couldn't even watch it on my own. So I was bummed about that because it seemed really interesting. And I still think that.
Any big revelations or differences in how you felt about it between that first watch and this one?
Yeah, I think when you watch something with like a friend, it's hard to pay attention to certain background details because you're like laughing or you're thinking very much consciously about like what do they think I'm thinking. I love the background storytelling of Kipo. I love the idea of this apocalypse that's like slowly revealed to us what's going on, what it looks like, how deep in the future it is. It makes a lot of sense that this came from a comic. Because comic storytelling is a lot about like, we're going to show you something and we're not going to tell you what it means. Just move on. Actually back from the like 2015 Tumblr days, fun fact. That's where Kipo was originally published. So it feels
interesting.
Yes, it was a comic turned into a show. And also not canceled. It's funny like comparing this show and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic have some remarkable similarities. Namely, both shows that people thought were canceled but actually ended. Both shows inspired by The Wizard of Oz, and both shows that respect their viewers' time and like patience, and both shows that are deeply earnest about things that other people may not be earnest about, like the apocalypse or like becoming an adventurer.
Yeah, I like that comparison.
Thank you.
Right.
Welcome back.
Might have another call in a few minutes, but
no worries.
I do.
What we introduced talking about Kipo and the Age of the Wonderbeasts. Do you have personal background with the show? Like you've seen it before?
I haven't seen every episode of it, but I've seen a bunch of it. My 2 youngest really like the show and love it, so I've caught the majority of it as they've been watching.
That's awesome.
What
was your feel about the first episode here?
I liked it. It's fun. I love the music in it. It's got a really great soundtrack.
Yeah, it does.
The story's fun. The characters are interesting. It's kind of, a mystery, but not like, and what's going on and everything definitely is not fully revealed yet. and
Mhm.
I just think it's a lot of fun and a lot of cool style and design to it too.
Yeah, it felt like every couple minutes they threw a new thing at us where it's like, okay, dubstep bees, sure.
Based off
Oh,
of K-pop idols, by the way. The girl
sure.
dubstep bee is based off of the K-pop idol CL.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. It's like, yeah, dubstep bees. Yeah, talking frog with a big mustache. Really cool soundtrack. Like, all right. I by the end of this episode, I trust that the show is going to keep throwing intriguing things at
Mm-hmm.
me. And I think they also do a good job with Kipo being like, "Hey, I'm looking for this clover. Can you help me find it?" And then by the end of the episode, they're like, here's what it is. It's like the on and off ramps of a highway. Kind of fun, right? Do you want us to show you some more mysteries and answer them for you now that we've shown you that we can do it? And you're like, yeah, okay, that was clever.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that comes from the confidence that is like writing your own little webcomic. Is you're like, I plan to have every revelation be like that, where you're like, oh, sure. Okay, what's the next one? Like you're listening to a really good storyteller who like knows where the show's going to end. The show is intended for 3 seasons and got all 3 of them, which is just satisfying. Like it's a deeply confident show and like knows what it wants to do and when to reveal things to you, when to be funny. Yeah, it's just like this is a sharply made piece of television.
Yep.
Some of the action scenes are really well like choreographed.
Yeah.
Animated.
The chase scene with the frog guy.
Yep, exactly.
Super fun.
Oh
yeah.
my god, that's where the music really sold me. Like, listener, if you haven't watched Kipo, and we're gonna talk in a second about why that's hard to do right now. Stupid. I hate our streaming future. It's got a mix of like electronic, hip hop, soul. It's like 4 different like distinct genres that you would never think would work in this type of series, but you're like, yeah, sure, a trap beat on the back of that, a little like rock music in there, rock guitars, orchestral stuff, sure. Why? Like I like downloaded the soundtrack to this on Spotify immediately after the pilot. I was like, I need to just like hear this. It's so ambient, it's so good, it's so specific.
And I think the music mirrors we're in this kind of post-apocalyptic world where it's not a barren wasteland. It's like bright colors, and the creatures are as much a kind of melange and a mix of genres as the music is. Like you can try on your new sneakers, turn around, and there's a giant slug wearing a car as a shell. And you're like, okay, sure, this is a weird place. I'm gonna ride this slug car and listen to bee dubstep. Yeah. So I like that, I feel like it's not often that you get a post-apocalypse that is like this colorful and like vibrant, even while also being like, oh, it's a desolate wasteland. Don't get it twisted. But there's some pops of color here too.
It's very clearly a meets, but it manages to be a meets like with confidence. It is blank meets blank, blank meets blank meets blank. It's Fallout meets Adventure Time meets Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is like 33% all 3 of those shows, because you're talking about like colorful apocalypse. Well, there's Avatar. You get like I'm coming out of the underground into the overworld. That's your Fallout. And also like fucked up animals. And you get After the Last Airbender, like the comedy, the fusion animals, the coming of age, the different types of characters with like weaponry and backstory. Like it feels like all 3 of those things had a baby, but not in the like boring way of like, oh, this is just like, it actually feels greater than the sum of its parts. And it has frog mobsters, which are fucking sick.
And the chips look good too from the vending machine.
Oh yeah,
they do.
So very like Alice in Wonderland, very very Wizard of Oz, Fallout, The Warrior. Like it's just like it wears influences on its sleeve. It's got its own unique music situation. It's very diverse. this was even an even bigger deal in 2020, but like we've got our main character is a woman of color. We're gonna get some queer characters in this show. We're early enough, but that was something I always heard about with Kipo, was like this is a very diverse show that does it in a way that's not like shoving in your face. It's just like this is just how the world is.
Oh yeah, there's just
And I love that. And I was saying actually, Emrys, when you were gone, that like I just love an apocalypse that's told to you, explained to you organically. Like I watched a lot of a playthrough of The Last of Us a couple years ago, and I was like, that game mostly does it well, but every once in a while they'll just have Ellie be like, this is the remnants of Boston. You're like, I could just walk through it. You didn't have to say that line. Don't talk to me. And the show knows when to talk to you. It's just like while she's playing with Mandu, the little adorable dog who I would kill for, or while you're being introduced to Wolf.
Yeah, the pig dog. Yeah.
The pig dog, yes. While you're being introduced to that, in the back, you're like, why is there a swimming pool full of rabbits? What's going on there? Why did they make a nest there? And like Magellan said, like the clover is an interstate highway. Like, what is this? And there's, like you said, there's no one answer. It's not gonna be like it was this that'll like end the series. Like similar to Fallout, there's no one answer or one twist in all of Fallout other than the government planned it. But that's its own thing. It doesn't feel like Kipo's gonna have something like that. It just feels like we're gonna introduce twists along the way.
Yeah, from what I remember, from what I've seen, they don't reveal like what the apocalypse specifically was, how it happened. I mean, maybe I missed that in this episode that when I was doing the dishes or something, you know. But as far as what I've seen, they don't go into those. They don't get that detailed and granular. I don't even know if they ever explain where they are exactly in any specific degree.
Yeah. Oh, like where in the country? Yeah.
Yeah. Or in the world, because we don't know.
True. We don't like see signage or anything. We can't have the GeoGuessr guy can't like find out where Kipo takes place specifically. Do you think that Kipo's optimism is refreshing or is it unrealistic? Like if you were dropped into this apocalyptic world, do you think that you would be like, cute animals, or would you be scared out of your fucking mind? Is that fun to see, or is that just like is that kid show energy?
Enjoyed it. It didn't bother me, I'll say. I don't know that I would be that optimistic and happy about stuff, but you know, it didn't. You know, so I could see how that could rub someone the wrong way, but that didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, there was definitely some line delivery that was like, "Oh man, this is just like my diamond hand" kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I really like the contrast between our two main characters. One of them is like, "Wow, I'm seeing stars for the first time," and the other is like, "Shut up, I'm trying to sleep." That's a fun.
Head down, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's less a question of like should Kipo be more cynical, and like Kipo needs Wolf. We need like this is a classic, you know, the optimistic like ditzy character has to meet the like grounded, sad, realist, and like that's Wolf.
And I think you need like in order for the story to happen in this environment that is so hostile, where like anybody with any level of experience with it would be like, oh, don't go places and
don't go on a fun journey.
Are you dumb? Like, we're not doing that. You need someone who's so naive about the world so that we can experience it through them. So I think there's also just an extent to which I'm like, yeah, I get it. You need this person to be willing to like touch every animal like a dummy in order for episodes to take place.
And they don't even always do the obvious like dark twist, right? Like she goes up to the little rabbit and Wolf is like, I don't think you should do that. And you're like, is it going to turn into a big rabbit? Is she going to get killed? And it's like, no, there just is a big rabbit and it's going to squish you and you shouldn't stand on its kids. It's that simple. It's not, there was no like, it's a monster. It's Bunnicula. I enjoy that a lot. Yeah, this was fun. I don't know. It's like, I'm not like, I immediately need to watch episode 2, but I'm like, man, you did a good job. You really made the thing. Good for you. I feel that a lot of times watching, like, reading good webcomics online where I'm like, wow, this is such a specific thing. What a cool, like when I watched, this is such a bad comparison. I'm sorry. Not God of High School. The other one. Fuck.
Devil of High School.
Something like that. There was like a webtoon from like 3 or 4 years ago that I really liked it. I was like, oh, one guy just like made this because he had ideas and was a big nerd and made his thing. And that's what Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts feels like, but it is just very well produced. It's a bummer that it got like produced so fast or came out so fast, right? Because Emrys, it like all 3 seasons aired in a year.
I think so, yeah.
And they kind of blasted it out, and then they're like, all right, show's done. But I think the creator did say he would like do movies and stuff if given the opportunity, or more seasons if given the opportunity. Netflix just decided like, nah, you got your 3. That's all. We're done. You hear your story.
Yeah. And then Netflix was nice enough to apparently say, people don't need to watch this show.
Yeah, so that's the side twist about like deciding if we're gonna watch Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. This is a Netflix original that was produced by DreamWorks Animation, just like what did we watch last time that had this problem?
She-Ra.
And you're like, wow, what a cool show! How influential! How like important for a certain age of young women. We don't need that anymore. Wait, what? What do you mean we don't need that anymore? This show got Zaslaved, y'all. Not literally because it's not HBO, but Zaslaved in the sense of like, there is no legal way to watch Kipo on the internet anymore. There's none. It's but there's a DVD available for pretty cheap, which is probably your best legal route. I recommend that. I might consider that if I want to watch this show. And otherwise, you got to find it through a less legal means. And that sucks, especially if we're trying to be a podcast where we recommend people watch things and we talk about them with them. Seeing this thing plastered with the Netflix logo at the beginning, and then like seeing that on a internet server, I'm like, this sucks. This is what I mean when I say I hate our streaming future.
Yeah, it does totally suck. They did that to She-Ra too. That really sucks.
Yeah, like a month or 2 ago, it was take off. Yeah,
Kipo was like a week ago.
Yeah,
I think a lot of this stuff hit its 5 years. So I'm so curious if this happens to the OA, because a lot of this stuff was like in 2019, 2020. And they were like, okay, 5 years is enough time for a show to be on our service.
Yeah, we'll get our money's worth, and then we don't care.
I think it's I think the thing of it is it's like a DreamWorks show.
Licensed to Netflix.
I think is what it is, as opposed to like
it's not a Netflix original.
Like it's original to Netflix in the sense that that's where it was released.
Yeah, Netflix gave money for them to make it for this show, but they didn't.
They just stopped paying for the license.
Right?
Yeah, right.
DreamWorks, when I said earlier, like show that animation studio that let them make the show, that was DreamWorks. You're right, John. And those are the shows that get taken off this service the most often, are the ones that are like made by a different studio, licensed to Netflix.
Yeah. Stinky.
Yeah.
Oh, did you recognize the voice actress of Kipo?
I thought I did. I was trying to figure out who that was. Who was it?
Karen Fukuhara. I know her from The Boys. She's Kimiko on The Boys.
She's Glimmer on She-Ra.
Oh, you're so right. I think I said that last week. Am I dumb? She's Commander Glimmer. I know her mostly from her live action work. So like she was in Suicide Squad, she was in Bullet Train. But yes, she's done a lot of good animated stuff. Oh my god, she was in Pokemon Concierge. Is she the main girl in Pokemon Concierge? Yes, she is.
She is.
God.
Right.
I love Magellan. Pokemon Concierge is about a teenage girl who works at a Pokemon hotel. It's like a resort. Resort. Yeah.
Fun.
It's so cute. She got a little dumb Psyduck who runs around with her, and it's all yarn animated. Like it's stop motion yarn animation.
Cute.
I gotta watch the second season of that.
Me too. It's so good. I need to like save it though. I don't want to rush it. But yeah, and then most recently she was doing The Boys, which just ended. Shout out to Karen Fukuhara. I think it's time to make a decision, my friends.
Yeah, I want to hear, Emrys, your wise counsel, your recommendations.
Well, I mean, personally for me, I would pick from Kipo, My Little Pony, or Aim for the Ace. I think honestly, Aim from the Ace is the one that gets the strongest push from me, and then the other two are a close second. I bounced off Chihayafuru, and so Fortunately, that one's gonna, if I were picking, would get the boot for me. But and if I had to pick between the two, I mean, I'd have to go with My Little Pony, but that's for
Personal
personal reasons.
Yeah. Fair.
I'd be quite happy for like Kipo's a great show. And, I'd be happy to visit that again as well.
I'm certainly gonna. I can't say this every time. I'm certainly gonna find a way to watch Kipo with my friend if we don't do it on the show. If it doesn't win. All right, Magellan.
Alan, where's your head at right now?
This is one of the hardest ones. This is genuinely one of the hardest ones because I loved Aim for the Ace so very much, and it feels like a slam dunk or a grand slam.
Or
to
an
pick
ace.
that, or an ace, perhaps an ace. But I don't know what my second pick would be, and I don't want to just like offload that decision to you if I go first. So I guess my second pick is between Chihayafuru and Kipo, if I'm being honest. And I like Friendship is Magic. I would watch this in a Discord with people if they had it on. I would not say no to that. But I think I have the most like energy towards Chihayafuru and Kipo.
Interesting. For me, it's Aim for the Ace, Chihayafuru, and My Little Pony. So it's funny that each of the three of us, there's a different one that we're like, nah, not that one.
Yeah. But there's one that
we're
we
also
all definitely
like, yeah, Aim for the Ace for sure. And then like, between because of these other ones.
So then, do we even need to flip a coin because we both know one of the shows?
But one of you's got to be the second pick.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we gotta flip the coin to see who has to do.
Or you could be a spoiler and pick your second pick for your pick if you go first and stick the other person having to choose.
Yep. There's a lot of game theory here. So I think we got to just do our protocol. So let's flip it.
Okay, Magellan, heads or tails?
Tails. Never fails.
You dying on the floor with like a coin in your hand. All right. The coin is flipping. I'm scared. It's heads.
All right.
Damn it!
First.
Why is it never tails? No, I didn't want to pick. Wait, can I say that?
Yeah.
I can just make a decision right now.
Yeah.
Let me just bask in this win once again. I'm like 5-0 right now. It's crazy, y'all. Yeah. How many episodes is Chihayafuru?
I think it's like 3 seasons.
Huh?
Yeah, there's actually kind of a good amount.
What?
Let's see. I think it's like 70 something episodes. Let's see. There's at 25, 26, 24.
Okay, it's Aim for the Ace and My Little Pony then.
But you don't get to pick both.
Oh, okay. Then fine. I pick Aim for the Ace.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what's your pick then, my love?
Slow down.
Sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah, this is tough for me because I want to pick My Little Pony, but I feel so sad that Chihayafuru. This is now the second time that I've watched the pilot and been like deeply moved by it as an experience, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna watch anything else. But I think I gotta pick My Little Pony, and I might just watch Chihayafuru.
Wow.
And enjoy my life.
I can only say that for so many shows. I keep saying it, and I have to be careful because I'm gonna say it about everything that loses, and then
that's
right. The listener doesn't know how much agony Magellan and I felt after cutting the Big O. That we were both like,
"That's short.
We fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, there's that also part of my calculus is like there might be enough material for like a wild card thing or something down the road. But I think My Little Pony, I gotta pick it because also watching Equestria Girls was one of the things that made me feel the most receptive to like, yeah, we should do animated stuff.
That's true.
Watch My Little Pony maybe. So, yeah.
Congratulations to Aim for the Ace and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. You move on to round 2 of the Shojo bracket.
What's the next bracket, or do you not announce that?
Well, we have a Shrek Chatz next.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We haven't decided
That's
yet.
fair.
Lucky for us, we are next week taking a little detour from Toon Couch Toon Madness to watch some Star Trek. We're going to be returning to Star Trek, the original series. Alan, are we starting season 3?
Yeah, I believe you are.
Are we finishing season 2? Starting season 3? Amazing. We're going to be doing the first half of season 3, the final season of Star Trek, the original series. I don't know what song I'm doing. We're going to go all the way from episode 1 of season 3, which is entitled, where's my little list?
Is it a Muck Time?
Where's my list?
No, Muck Time's in season 1.
Spock's
Brain.
I was thinking Spock's Brain. Yeah, Spock's Brain.
Yeah, Spock's Brain.
And then we're going to
Muck Time season 2, episode 1.
Yes.
We're going to go up through, there are 24 episodes total, so we'll go up through episode 12, The Empath.
Oh, man.
All right.
Brain
you got some roller coaster ride ahead of you, I believe. Quality.
We dropped hard in season 2, part 2, so I was hoping for at least some bumps along the way. That's going to be fun.
I mean, most people say season 3 is the roughest season of Star Trek, and I can't really disagree with them too much.
Yeah, well,
there's still some great episodes mixed in, but
there's a great episode title in here: "For the world is hollow, and I have touched the sky." So hopefully that's cool.
Yeah, that sounds based as fuck. Yeah, season 3 is it? I'll look into this before next episode. I think season 3 is when they were like canceled, and then they were like, "Wait, no, we're not canceled." Is that correct, Emrys?
They got it's more complicated than that. They were promised a better slot for season 3, and then the show that was going to get moved through a fit. It was Laugh-In, I believe, if I remember correctly. We're like, no, we're not moving our fucking spot for fucking Star Trek. What are you talking about? And so it became a whole political thing backstage, and they got moved to like it was Friday or Saturday evenings, and like one of the death spots, basically.
Brilliant.
So, yeah,
I'm excited.
And their budget got slashed, so.
Oh, great! That won't cause problems at all.
No, it never causes problems. A lot of the writers end up leaving, if I remember correctly, and stuff.
Oh, good. As long as DC Fontana's still there.
And like Gene basically checks out partway through, which I mean, Gene is not always a net add to the show.
Yeah, correct.
but he did have like a unifying vision that.
It made the show happen. Great. Well, Emrys, thank you so much for being on Toon Couch Toon Madness. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Having me.
Of course.
Not at this time, no.
Brilliant. Magellan, what about you? Where can people find you online?
You can find. Sorry, I just read a wild piece of trivia about the final episode of Star Trek TOS, which is that it was preempted the night it was supposed to air because Dwight Eisenhower died that day. Sorry.
Let's keep that in mind when we watch that episode in a few months. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna close some.
Well, that episode, oh man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything more. You'll get there when you get there.
Love it. You can find me on another podcast I do with my friend Justin, a noted lover of Chihayafuru. It's called Super Smash Echoes, where we play video games related to the Super Smash Brothers franchise, Super Smash Echoes. Check it out. You can also find me on Bluesky at not.magellan.bsky.social and on Ghost at not-that-magellan.ghost.io. Alan, what about you?
You can find me on Bluesky at Ibrahim, AIBRAHIM. And you can also hear me on The Creature Quorum, which is a Pokemon podcast that released an episode during this recording. So if you want to hear me and my friend Six talk about Cinnabar Island and other adventures in the Pokemon universe, check out The Creature Quorum. I know, and I'm excited. I do too. I want to listen to it later tomorrow.
We just had a day a couple days ago that the journal in Cinnabar Island is like, fuck, we released Mewtwo. We found Mew, actually.
Yeah, fuck, my bad. Yeah, they don't actually talk about Mewtwo in the journals, which is interesting. Like, Mewtwo doesn't It's just like a weird anomaly in the post game. Anyways, we'll talk. I have a podcast for talking about that. Magellan, it's an even episode. Can you do the plugs in, please?
I would love to. You can get in touch with the show in a few different ways. You can email us, chatzpod@gmail.com, with questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, requests, whatever you want to say to us. chatzpod@gmail.com. We're also on Bluesky at chatzpod, chatzpod.bsky.social. We are on YouTube, where you can see a video version of the show. And you can see I'm wearing this is my cat, Melon, on my shirt. Melon. One time I was walking around the streets of New York City wearing this shirt, and a bunch of guys playing music on the sidewalk were like, "Long live Melon." And that was awesome.
That's
and you could see that on YouTube, Chatz Television Podcast on YouTube. Wherever you find the show, whether it's in video form or audio form, please consider rating, reviewing, sharing. All that is helpful. And if you have the means to support us financially, you can do that at patreon.com/chatspod. $1 a month gets you onto the Discord, where we do stuff like pitch stuff that'll be on a hypothetical future season of Chatz, and then somebody like Emrys does a bunch of work and makes it a real season of Chatz. That's what goes on the Discord. $3 a month gets you twice monthly bonus content, and $5 gets you thanked here at the end of every episode. Thank you, as always, to Steph, Stefan, Six, Noel, Nick of the Brothers at Infinite War, MP, My Mom, Marcus, Lee, Kyrie.
Uh-oh.
Bro, Kyrie killed the podcast.
Kyrie, come on.
Oh my god, no.
Can you pick it up from there and do the rest?
Yeah, I can. Let's give him like 10 more seconds while I pull up the notes. That's fucking funny though. Bink bonk. Okay, notes. Okay,
I guess next is girlfriend of the podcast, Kelly.
After Kyrie, HHKLM.
If you're going in river, but you're going from the S side
yeah.
this time.
You're right. Hold on. Yes, you're right. Girlfriend of the podcast, Kelly, Justin, Jen, Felicia, Emrys, Emily, Arthur, and fiance of the podcast, Amanda. Thank you also very much for supporting Chatz. In the meantime, while Magellan gets their internet figured out, thank you to Camilla at Camillustrator for doing our podcast art. She's at Camillustrator, and you should follow her. Let's vamp for a little bit longer. Emrys, it's time for Chatsums. This is a segment where you recommend us things to enjoy between now and the next episode of the pod. What do you recommend for the folks at home?
I kind of got two this time. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
They're very unrelated. The first is a book called The Dispossessed and Ambiguous Utopia.
I love
Ursula K. Le Guin.
That's a re-chatsum. I already chatsummed it. You're allowed to chatsum it again.
Okay.
Though. Yes.
All right. But
now.
No, I finally sat down and read it last month, and it was amazing, and I highly recommend it. I picked up the rest of the Danish books since I enjoyed that one so much. Yep. And awesome. So I'll be checking those out. And then the other thing I'm going to recommend is to find and join your local CSA.
Whoa.
Or community supported agriculture. And we joined one last year, and it was a good experience. So we did it this year. You pay up front directly to the farm, and then every week they have a bundle of produce available for you that you go and pick up, and basically takes care of a bunch of our produce shopping for the season. It's all fresh vegetables, and it directly supports the farmers doing the work. So highly recommend it.
That's cool.
Wait, hell yeah. I remember Chia from Remap talking about joining her CSA, and it looks like my local hometown does in fact have one. So I'll take a look. Cool. I always have problems with getting my fresh vegetables. Magellan Chatsum.
Yeah, this is a kind of a thing you could do, Chatsum. Watching Chihayafuru made me think about this. I would recommend, if there is a piece of poetry that you enjoy, you should memorize it.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, over the years, I've had like a couple things that I've spent the time to memorize, and what I've found comes from that is you can then kind of like summon that thing forth and chew on it, think about it, digest it, because it's just there in your brain. And so the things that I've committed to memory and then been able to like revisit are, I think, the things that I like have gotten the most out of as a reader. So if you've got the time and the brain space to pick something that you really like and memorize it, I say give it a shot. That's my Chatsum.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Alan, what about you?
Absolutely brilliant. I don't know what's new. I've been still watching the World Cup. Argentina absolutely, I don't want to say obliterated Egypt today, because first of all, that's kind of harsh language, and second of all, Egypt had a 2-0 lead and then lost it by Argentina scoring 3 points in 15 fucking minutes. I hate you, Lionel Messi. Sorry. Where am I? I blacked out. Instead, I want to recommend to you all stop optimizing. You could probably track over the course of 10 years of podcasts, or like 6-7 years of chatsums, like the arc of recommending you guys do things, optimize. Have you tried this? To like us realizing over our late 20s into our early 30s, like you don't need to optimize. You just need to sleep and eat good food and be with your friends and family. That's all that life needs to be. Make things. Feel your brain. Touch the ground with your feet. Go to the beach. Take a good poop. Buy the dress. Eat the sandwich. Stop optimizing is my chatsum. Just fucking relax. It leads to a happier and an overall much healthier quality of life. That's my chatsum. Okay. Thank you so much to Emrys for being, oh my god, the fucking Hiromi to our club president, because she's gonna win it all probably. And then thank you to Magellan for being, oh yeah, the guy to my girl in the Karuta club, because there's some gender stuff going on with that card game looking playing boy, and I'm a girl, and we're Chatz the Television Podcast. Goodbye, everyone, and keep on tuning. Goodbye.